What's going on, everybody? Is I, the one and only Yerk Skywalker. I hope you guys are having a great day today. It is currently now August 7th officially. It's about 12:30 a.m., I think. Yeah, actually, no, it's almost quarter till 1. So, Bad Batch episode 15. All I can say is rest in peace, Kamino, because the Imperial Venator Star Destroyers that would eventually become the Star Destroyers completely blew it up, or at least the main Topoka City. We found out we've got to go to the secret lab where Omega was created and where the Bad Batch's uh, mutations were enhanced to their fullest potential, and Omega was there, hence why she was so attached to them. I don't know if she's older than her. We don't really know yet. And honestly, I don't know if we'll ever know. Crosshair was they rescued Hunter, and Crosshair turned on his men, and he explains why he hasn't killed them yet, the Bad Batch. And what he exactly explains is the following: he explains that you guys left me, even though he's his literal inhibitor chip did not let him stop fighting or trying to stop the Bad Batch from leaving Kamino in the first episode. Like, it did not let them. Excuse me for a moment. Okay, I'm back. I am so sorry. It's also been a very long night. Um, I am in production of a project right now. Um, and it's gonna be a little while before that comes out. And it's regarding the Lego build. It did not go as well as I hoped it would, but it's going okay. It's gonna get better. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna figure it all out. And regarding Lego sets going forward, I'll have an update coming out both after this review, after my first thoughts on season's one's finale, which comes out next Friday, and after my final thoughts on the Bad Batch season 1, and what's coming after my fall hiatus, because I'm taking a break in the fall because I need to, there's just I'll explain when we do that. Anyway, so he explains that he, feels betrayed because they left him there. Hunter's like, that's not who we are, and he's just like, but dude, we're superior to all these freaking regular, human recruits and all these other clone troopers. We're superior. We are indeed superior. I just had a seizure. Not really. No, really, I didn't, guys. Really. So yeah. Crosshair turns on his men. The magnets that he used to destroy, get that massive kill streak in when they rescued Echo in Bad Batch season 7 episode, or when they blew up that ship in the Bad Batch arc for season 7 of Clone Wars, the blaster bolt magnet that bounces back and forth off the walls and just kills all the droids. Yeah, he uses it, except he kills all of his men around him that he had served in his new squad of human recruits that would eventually replace the clones of stormtroopers, which at this point, as we learned in the previous episode, has already been taking place. Hunter then, after him and Crosshair have a little stare down match, we learned before Hunter knocks him out with a blaster or stun blast, and has Wrecker pick him up and bring him with them to escape Kamino. We learned that Crosshair's chip hasn't been working for a while. It's just who he is at this point. That's why he's been hunting them down. It's just he wanted to do it because he felt betrayed. And it's just because he's a douche. He's just kind of... Crosshair is basically the beta of the group, if you want my honest opinion. He's the definition of beta. He is so salty. He's so bitter. He's such a drama queen, and he doesn't even know it. Or maybe he does, and maybe that's why he likes to do it. Maybe he likes getting that kind of attention. I don't know, guys. It's the Star Wars universe. It's not really to be debated about whether or not someone likes to, be a drama queen or not. It's kind of irrelevant to the situation. But I can just tell you he's kind of a douche. That's what I can tell you. What I can also tell you is, what we can assume is in episode 8, when the Bad Batch turn on when they're on Baraka, which is the planet from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, where Cal Kestis helps the Scrapper Guild cut apart the old Clone Wars Venator Republic ships that would be replaced for the Imperial Star Destroyers we see in the original trilogy. We see him working on their scrapping old ships. What we know is the Bad Batch managed to turn on the engine. It burned and it burned Crosshair's face, and it burned all his hair off. And there's a melt scar right here. And Hunter actually looks at it once he stuns him, and he notices. So that's where his chip was. So we can see that there's a burn mark right where it's either. I think it's on this side. I don't know. It's on one of the sides of his head, and we can see that is where the chip was. And it's been melted. Whether it got melted into his head, we're not sure. What's really sad, though, I gotta say, what's really, really sad about this episode is they also did fight some early beta phase dark troopers, which were less superior to the ones that Luke Skywalker would fight and absolutely clap cheeks in Mando at the Mando season 2 finale. These are like an early beta type before they would put the humans in and then eventually replace them with, just droid versions, like superior droid versions of them. Nearly impervious to like blaster fire, essentially, as we saw in Mando season 2. But yeah, the clones are in the ship. The clones are in the ship. And they blow up their own. They're like, "We're in position, sir. We're in position. We're in position, sir." Retainer makes me sound like a freaking. Hey guys, how you doing? Makes me sound like a freaking Steve Urkel dork. But basically, Admiral Rampart tells them to fire, and they fire on their own freaking home. They fire on their own freaking home. That's really sad. That's all I can say. That's really sad. That's just really, really sad. Oh, man. That's just really sad, mate. That's just really sad. And we get one last shot at the Camino. We get a shot at the mess hall, all the cloning facilities where the baby clones would be in their like pods. We see the Bad Batch's little barracks. Words are not my specialty at night sometimes. We see all of that, and yet it don't even matter because it's just been laid waste by clones. Ironically. Ironic. They could save others from death, but not their home. Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen, my young apprentice. Good. Let the hate flow through you. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. For now. But yeah, they fire on it. But when the ship first lands, I gotta mention this detail, which, again, for some of you might not even give a crap, to be honest. Overall, I will say, and that's where the episode ends, and we don't know who's gonna escape. I don't know if anyone's gonna die. They already have confirmed that Bad Batch Season 2 is happening. Let me get to this part, and then I'm gonna tell you what was a really little cool, two cool things, and then I'm gonna end things off for the night. This is a shorter review because, number one, I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. Some good stuff's happened. Some frustrating stuff's happened, and I got another bit of a frustrating day tomorrow, a little bit. So I'm just trying to keep this as concise as possible. Let me just shut up and move on. So I don't know if someone's gonna die, or maybe like Vader's gonna show up, or Rex is gonna show up. I have no idea what to expect. I can only assume, and I'm not gonna pull a Star Wars theory because that's his job. It's not that I don't do theories. It's not that I'm not Star Wars theory, so I don't want to steal from him. But all I can say is I have no idea in regards to what's gonna happen. What I can tell you is somebody might die at some point. I don't think it will be Omega because I feel like, I mean, if they did, that would be very, very dark. I would be very, very, very dark to say the least. That would you know what? That would be a very interesting character development to say the least. But I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm just saying it would be very, very interesting if it did happen. Now, overall, this was an 8.5 out of 10 episode for me. Some of it was a little bit too slow for me. I wasn't crazy that there wasn't as much action as I expected there to be. I really am into and again, action does not necessarily have to drive me. I just prefer to see it a little bit more. If I can get it, that's great. And I just feel like there could have been a little bit more action. But hey, it's meant to be more emotional. And this next episode, this final episode of season 1, which comes out next Friday, is gonna it's gonna lead to quite a conclusion, which I hope is not boring or just drawn out and let the dragon drag on. I really hope to God that's not the case. So 2 little things I thought I saw that were really, really cool. Okay? Or heard. The first one, as a prequel fan, I grew up with the prequel trilogy, so this is a cool little detail. Some of the people might not understand this. When Crosshair's ship lands on Kamino, we get the same music that we hear when Obi-Wan landed on Kamino for the first time in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. The same Kaminoan theme music. That was such a nice freaking touch. As a prequel fan, as someone who grew up and loved the prequels, still loves the prequels, even though understanding their flaws, as someone who is a huge prequel fan that grew up with them, that hit home for me. And when they blew up Kamino, or they blew up the Tipoca City, I should say, and just seeing the empty mess hall, the empty barracks of the Bad Batch, the empty cloning pods, just the empty rooms of Kamino, and knowing that the clones got assigned, and they tell us in the episode that they got assigned off world, and knowing that the little kid cadet clones that hadn't even finished their training, that they're probably dead somewhere. That's just it's really the end of an era, guys. If you really think about it, it's the end of an era. Now, again, the clones that are older in the canon, like, the only ones that we know of that are alive are Rex, Gregor, Wolf, and we know Cody lives to a certain point, but he's dead, I'm pretty certain, before the events of Episode 4, New Hope. And if he's not, he dies probably around the time before Empire Strikes Back. I guarantee that. We won't know, and I don't know if we will see him. I have no freaking idea. The other cool thing, but it was cool because it really feels like this is, especially with the Kenobi show coming out, this is really the end of an era. This is really, really the end of the prequel era. They're really, I'm not saying there aren't going to be other stories, but in terms of wrapping it up, like, this is the wrap-up point, this and Kenobi, this is really the wrapping up of the prequel era of Star Wars. Because, obviously, you have Jedi Fallen Order, which takes place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, which is in 14 BBY. You have Solo, A Star Wars Story, but really, I think after Jedi Fallen Order, maybe after Jedi Fallen Order 2, at that point, and then after the Kenobi series, because Kenobi series is the thing, it's going to take place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is in 19 BBY. Kenobi has been confirmed to take place 10 years before, 10 years after Revenge of the Sith in 9 BBY, which is exactly 9 years before Episode 4, New Hope. So that's going to really wrap up the prequel era as a whole, because after that, you just have some other stuff, and then you get to Rogue One, and then right after Rogue One, like literally right after, the original trilogy happens. And you're in the era of the original trilogy and the rebellion. But yeah, I just think it's really unique, and it's really heartbreaking to see that the clones, they literally blew up their own home, and I don't even think those clone officers realize, you just literally blew up your freaking home. You just literally blew up your freaking home. And like I said, Crosshair's a beta. At least they're trying to get him out of here. We're gonna see what happens in episode 16. And what did you guys think of the episode? Overall, 8.5 out of 10 for me. Looking forward to the finale. I'm so excited to see season 2 as well, and whenever that comes out in May. I'm looking forward to taking a little break. I'm excited for Book of Boba Fett. What are you guys excited for? Are you guys excited for this finale? Part 2 coming out next Friday. Do you not care? Let me know in the comments down below. More update videos to come in regards to this production of this project I'm doing, and other stuff to come very, very soon. That will all be announced very, very, very soon. Very, very soon. That you can have my word on. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button or dislike button if you don't like what you're seeing, and that tells me I'm not doing my job. And if you want to tell me how else I can improve, leave me some feedback in the comments down below. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you never, ever miss another upload from yours truly, the one and only, Garrick Skywalker. Hope you guys have been enjoying the summer content. Hope you guys are staying safe. God bless. And as always, remember, the Force will be with you, now and always. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna watch the Thomas the Tank Engine. It's a bomb!